Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate Podcast Top 5 of the Week for week numero 13. This is your host, Devious One, Ivan C., alongside with my brothers from another mothers, the killer of all killers, who's going to kill your reputation if you don't follow him on Twitter. Josh Bret Horton, ladies and gentlemen.
At Josh Bret Horton.
There you go. And also we have the hero of all heroes. He is your hero, ladies and gentlemen. He's my hero. He's Josh. He's MGC, the great American of all time. American hero, Mike Lopez.
I like that. The great American of all time. I like that.
There you go. And also we got the studios of all studios with his guitar, with his Karen stick, and now with the scissors. I don't know what he's doing.
I just brought them out.
And now the Karen scissors, Mr. MGC himself, Matthew Caranteja, ladies and gentlemen. What is that?
Yeah.
Like Edward Scissorhands right there, or what's going on right there?
Since we were just talking about it off screen. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, our top 5 for the week for week 13 is our greatest top 5 Mountrushmores, which is the greatest wrestlers of all time. So this is going to be interesting. So stay tuned. Watch this, and you're going to love it. So let's go ahead and start off with Mr. MGC. I want to hear your top 5.
So did you say we're gonna save number 1 for the end of the show, or
No. Give me your top to bottom.
Okay, and then honorable mentions at the end of the show.
No, you can mention them after that. So you can start from bottom to top, right?
All right. So number 5. So this wasn't too difficult, but I wanted to go for, like there are going to be popular names on this list, but at the same time, I wanted some people that also weren't like too big. I know I did a more reformed list, but I guess like my number 5 right now, we might even do an update of this, but my number 5 right now, just because of the profound effect he's had on me and like the fact that he brought me back to wrestling, especially because I was looking for a role model in wrestling that I could really relate to and see myself in. Kenny Omega is my number 5. Okay. Kenny Omega, just because of all the, I really seem like there are times like, I have a little bit of a man crush on him, and then there are other times where I want to be him, when I see him. So Kenny Omega is number 5. We know all the accomplishments.
Kenny Omega. That's a good pick. That's a good pick, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially because it's a renaissance for me. He brought me back. And I don't know if it was for him, I would be back into wrestling again, because I'm looking for somebody. My heart was looking for somebody for me to like look into or see as a hero. Because when like a lot of like I was really like the most deep in it in 2002 when I was like really following like Rock versus Hogan, and when kind of like the new generation kind of came in, I was looking for that new hero, and he's like the new generation for me. So I'll go up to number 4 now.
Yep.
Number 4 is gonna surprise you because I didn't want to go with like too popular names. We talked about him on the theme songs episode just because of like my personal favorites.
Yeah. Archives, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget archives in our channel.
Check it again. I gotta give her and this was my personal favorites of all time. So I'm gonna give it to Sean O'Hare again. I'm mentioning him.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's bold statement right there.
To his memory.
Top wrestler of all time.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love Sean O'Hare, bro. I just watched some of his promos today. The vignettes. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Yeah. I watched that today.
Those were I watched those on repeat, and there's so many, I have so many moments, like deep in me, like I watched, like when I was more of a mark, there was still a little bit of hate there, but now that I kind of understand like kayfabe and in the world of kayfabe, I really appreciate everything like he's done and just how great he could have, been, and how great he was though. So number three originally was going to be my number 2, But you know, I'll talk. Number 2 and number 3 are really directly related to each other. But number 3, I've been wanting to talk about him like so much. I talked to him like once again. I'll mention the archives. I talked about him for a little bit on the Undertaker episode because of his match with the Undertaker, and that man is Tajiri. Tajiri is my number 3 of all time. Yeah.
I love
wow.
this.
Okay, interesting.
I love this pick.
Tajiri, and he actually has a really amazing like list of alumni under him. Like there's even like newer versions. I think, did he train Asuka, or like I know he wrestled. There was a match with Asuka. You know, kicks. He
did train her a little bit. He did wrestle for his organization in Japan. And obviously there was, if you saw it, there was a lot of YouTube about women being discriminated, Japanese women being discriminated in Japan. This is before, you know, New Japan bought off Stardom. Like, they were not getting the recognition of what they were doing. And a lot of people in Japan were not liking the intergender matches, especially with Suzuki and Asuka, Suzuki beating the shit out of her. And other matches as well that she's gone through. When it was barely starting in Japan in the intergender a lot of people were not a fan of it, and they were against it. So Tajiri and Asuka kind of defended that. There was a long story to that, but go ahead and continue.
And I guess that's what that match was with the glasses. You know, it was a cute match. I liked it. In Japan, there's actually a term. Well, I won't say fetish, but it's like a special interest. I'll say it's called glasses. The word for glasses in Japanese is megane. So like that, I think that's what that whole angle was about. You know, it was like megane was like the whole thing, because like Tajiri started out wearing the glasses, and then after Tajiri defeated Asuka, he puts the glasses on Asuka after he pins her. So that's like a whole thing, like, because you look like, oh yeah, it's like I like with you, Mike, girls have told you look cuter with glasses before, right? You know, that's what Megane is.
He has no comment, because you're about to get him in trouble, bro.
No, yeah, I got
your girls told you look cuter with them on than off. Sometimes. Yes. There you go. That's Megane, you know, or you with your sunglasses, Josh, you know. You look sexy man, like dangerous. Dangerous vibes. That's Megane. That's glass. It just means glasses.
Megane,
yeah, yeah, Megane. That's a tangent on Megane. You guys can look up whatever you want about that, like, after this is over. But yeah, Tajiri has so many. He's had a lot of great matches in Japan and the U.S. And his match with Undertaker, or those kicks. Just listening to those kicks, I could listen to those kicks forever. Just that slapping sound. Every time I hear that snapping sounds, like, no kicks sound like that snappy, you know, and just all the spots are just so, like, a Tajiri match is always fun to watch for me. Like, if there's anything you guys will notice from this list, if I could take a wrestler, like take parts of a wrestler and make the perfect wrestler, these are the parts of a wrestler I want to like take out and create. Like, if I wanted to be a wrestler, I wanted to be a fusion of these 5 people, basically.
Right.
Way.
Okay.
So that brings me to number 2. So I just told you about Tajiri. Without this guy, there's no Tajiri. Like, Tajiri spits the green mist. You already know who I'm going to say.
Say it.
Muda.
I agree. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. It could have also been the Great Kabuki, but like Muda, everything he's done, the fact that, like, I only just recently saw his match where he won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship and the IWGP Championship against Masahiro Chono at the Tokyo Dome. It was the craziest match.
It was a great match.
Yeah.
It was a great match. I liked this match against Jushin Thunder Liger. That's when we saw the transformation. That was his first transformation of Liger going into like, what was it, like Garo, or I can't believe I forgot. Remember when he transformed, when he took off the mask, he ended up becoming something else, the demon eyes of the different face of
Jushin Liger.
That was the first time we saw it.
That's actually Finn Balor said that's what inspired his demon gimmick.
Yeah.
Liger, the whole idea with that, and that's like a big influence on Balor. But Great Muta, his matches with Hogan, his matches with Sting, his matches with Vader, his matches with Barry Windham, the list, his match with Ric Flair, his matches. He's still wrestling now, by the way.
And Antonio Inoki, don't forget.
Inoki,
excuse me. Yes.
And he's currently active with Pro Wrestling Noah right now. I can't even believe it. He's that amazing of a worker. Muta, the Mist Spitter, all of his moves. I love him so much. And I just talked about, his matches with Sting. I mean, I love Sting's like New Japan theme in his match with Sting. That's one of my favorites. Like one of the first matches I want to watch if I get New Japan World is Muta versus Sting. And that brings me to my number one.
Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen.
The man called Sting.
Sting
is, I think I want to put this out there. This has kind of been like in my head for a while. I was thinking of making this like my new like solo music gimmick, or if I was a wrestler, this is what my gimmick would be, like Fang, but it's like face paint like Sting, kind of sort of, but instead of like scorpions, it's snakes, and like all my moves kind of named after like scorpion stings and like viper stings, viper bites and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So it was gonna be like Fang, but yeah, like Sting, like it's. I kind of wish there was another Sting. That's like I'm so upset that I was a bit upset that he retired, but at the same time I'm happy that his body gets to heal, and I'll never say never. Who knows? It's up to him. I'll leave it up to him, whatever he wants to do from this point on. But like that gimmick, it's so haunting. All the matches, like nobody cooler than I can't imagine a cooler gimmick than that, like going around, all of his matches, everything from his Surfer era up until recent, like he was like if he came to WWE in 03 or 04, I would have like lost my mind, I would have, I don't think I would have stopped watching around 03 if he came in. All right. I think I'll go right to my honorable mentions because I was going to mention this guy, and the thing is I forgot about him. I forgot that I was going to originally put him on my top 5 because I think it was going to be the other way around. I think I was going to exchange his place for Sean O'Hare's place.
Okay.
So Jushin Thunder Liger.
Which you should have put Jushin Thunder Liger in the top 5 and not an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Because that should have been. No disrespect to Sean O'Hara, rest in peace, God rest his soul. But no, Jushin Thunder Liger should have been in your top 5 Mount Rushmores because he improved a lot in Japan. Mm-hmm. He did a lot great for a lot of organizations.
Star Press, and just recently retired at I guess was it New Beginning? It was New Japan's New Beginning was when he retired.
Yes.
Just at the beginning of this year. So if you just missed seeing him or listening to his voice, you could still see him do color commentary, yes. Or currently doing color commentary for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I just want to say I love it because when he's talking, you hear the rest of the commentator, hi, because then they let him talk. And Jushin talks like they just agree with him. Hi, I agree. They don't disagree with him. They just go with it. It's amazing how to see Jushin Liger as a commentator. I love it. I love it.
This big Japanese pop star, Matsui Jirina, I talked to her about her on a few other places. She dressed up as Jushin Thunder Liger at Wrestle Kingdom. Like she was wearing the hat, and then she had like a little stuffed plushie of Jushin Thunder Liger with her. She had a little one. I need to get some like Thunder Liger merch. And it actually came from, I think he actually came from an anime. A manga was made about him. And speaking of people that start out as animes and mangas and become wrestlers, I guess my other honorable mention, and this is another recent love, but like at the same time he's been around a while and there's been a lot of different incarnations. Tiger Mask. is my other honorable mention.
He should have been on the list instead of Tajiri.
I think I'm gonna put Tiger Mask on my. I'm gonna put Tiger Mask on my every single. Because I'm gonna include every single version of him because so many different people have donned the mask.
Yep.
The OG one. I think the OG is still alive.
The OG is the best.
The OG. The second one's passed away. I think.
Yes.
The third and fourth one. There's one of them like. Kota Ibushi is either the fourth or the fifth. I forgot. And I think one of them was. Because Eddie, remind you, Eddie was also Eddie Guerrero, was a Tiger Mask. I think he was. Yes, he was. I think
the different.
Eddie Guerrero
was the Black Tiger or Tiger Mask?
Oh, you're right.
Eddie was Black Tiger.
Oh yeah, he was Black Tiger. You're right. You're right. He was Black Tiger.
And like something Tiger was different. I think there's like a listing. There's a listing of all the different Tiger masks, though.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of them. It's so plenty of them. But I like the character, and it was, Tiger Mask is the legend, and I'm glad that Japan kind of follows the same concept as Mexico does, with passing the torch of mask. Like they kind of do it the same in a way. But it's different because you see how Matt mentioned that there's Tiger Mask 1, 2, 3, 4, and above. In Mexico, the only person that's done that is Villano 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the majority of them they have masks. Like they have like El Santo, the first one.
La Parca, there's just different like La Parcas. It's not in number. They're not numbers. They're just different names. Yeah,
it's because it's LA Park or La Parca because of the legal rights of it. Because Mexico owns the original name, so MLW only owns LA Park. So they put LA Los Angeles Park, so there's so much.
I think LA, they have it's like the father and the son.
They have the original. They have, he's the second one. LA Park is the second one that took over the mask.
Is he the son though? I think one of them's father son. They have a father son. So Kota Ibushi is Tiger Mask 6.
Okay.
Oh shit.
3, 4, 5. 6. Kota Ibushi's Tiger Mask 6. Or Tiger Mask W is kind of what his Tiger Mask is. And then there's Shigetsu Tiger Mask after that, and Tiger Mask 5, 6, 7, 8. There's Tiger Mask 8, and both of their identities are unknown to this. Wow. They're both unknown. Shigetsu Tiger Mask and Tiger Mask 8 are both unknown identities. But yeah, Sayama is the first one. Misawa is the second. I think he's the one who passed away.
Yeah, he's the one that passed away, I believe so.
Kanemoto's Tiger Mask 3, Tiger Mask 4 is Yamazaki, Tiger Mask 5 is Minoa, and Tiger Mask 6 is Ibushi.
Wow, so, that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow, man.
Much love to all of the Tiger Masks out there.
Man, that's insane picks, man. I don't know what to say about that. It's crazy. So let's go with the Mr. Killer of all killers. Josh Bret Horton.
Number 5, I'm going to go with Shawn Michaels.
Ooh.
Mr. WrestleMania.
Sexy boy.
For Jesus. He's a sexy boy for Jesus.
Well, now he is. But hey, don't offend Jesus over here, man. I love Jesus.
Yeah, don't offend Jesus. Shawn Michaels, though, damn. He's like every wrestler today, if you think about it, that most wrestlers today look up to Shawn Michaels. You see the super kick everywhere. The Young Bucks doing it. Everybody's doing it. Adam Cole reminds me of the next Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
He was bad back in the day, like the baddest motherfucker. I remember seeing a video of him getting a drink or something threw on him as he's walking to the crowd, I think at WrestleMania or maybe at some other event. And Shawn Michaels, he just played it off and just like he was like, he's like, yeah, whatever. And then the drink was all over him and everything. But yeah, Shawn Michaels is right up there, top 5. He's my top 5 pick, number 5. and the Mount Rushmore.
All right.
Because damn, what a career, and his rivalry with the Undertaker speaks for itself. So.
God, I love it. I think the first one tops it off better than the second one, my opinion.
Oh, no doubt. And see, number four, I got Triple H.
Ooh, I like this.
Triple H.
I like this.
Because of consistency, man. He's been in the company like what, since '95?
About about 95. I believe so.
And however the way he got there, it doesn't matter, man. Like the point is, he's been there, and look at what he's doing now.
I think he was the perfect heel for The Rock.
Man.
I couldn't imagine a perfect like enemy for The Rock, like a perfect like villain for The Rock's hero to fight against.
I think he was the best villain overall during the Attitude Era. He pissed everybody off. I mean, do you agree, Josh? Did he piss everybody off? He was the greatest villain?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Triple H?
Yep.
He pissed everybody off in the Attitude Era and in the Ruthless Aggression Era. And after that, too, he pissed me off to this day. I was still mad about him fucking over Steve.
I kind of wish that Roddy Piper was booked like Triple H back in his heyday.
Yeah.
Kind of had the same kind of, like they gave him like title runs the same way they gave Triple H title, because Roddy was Hulk Hogan's, main, but like I said, I think in the other one was Triple H to The Rock is to The Rock as Roddy Piper is to Hulk Hogan.
Josh?
All right. Let's see. Okay, so Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and now number 3 is The Undertaker.
Okay, there you go.
The dead man with the streak that lasted as long as it did, and we had to argue about how that went when it ended, but we'll talk about that. We already talked about that in the archives, as you said.
You heard it. Archives, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe.
And also The Undertaker, if you don't know, check. If you haven't seen it, check out that Last Ride series on the WWE Network. Fucking Undertaker. It's epic, man. You got to watch it if you fucking missed it. But, yeah, Undertaker, he's one of those guys like Triple H. He's been around for a long, long time. I think he's been around I know he's been around wrestling over 30 years. WWE, he's about to come up November, 30 years there, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, yep. You're absolutely right. Which we all thought he was going to retire at that time.
Yeah, I know. I wish he would have retired right at that event. I think that he got what he got. He got what he wanted at WrestleMania versus AJ Styles, because that was a damn good match. And why take a chance of trying another one and it get ruined?
Yep, I agree 100%.
Undertaker's number 3. And number 2.
Dos.
Number 2. The baddest son of a bitch walking on the planet.
Well, let me tell you something. What? Yes, he's bad, son of a bitch. Go ahead.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's
Texas Rattlesnake. Yeah, he's one of the reasons why I started watching wrestling, man. Like, it was the whole Chainsaw Charlie thing that drew me in, but what kept me watching was Stone Cold. And Stone Cold, man, he just went out there and raised hell, whether he was a baby face or a heel. He was actually neither one. He'd just go out there and kick everybody's ass and just get in their face. And I remember him going and locking him up, the police, him putting concrete in the fucking car of Vince McMahon, all types of shit like that. Man, fucking
Gosh,
Stone Cold.
I gotta see if I could find this, because a long time ago, at a ring toss game at a church, like a county fair, I did like a ring toss game, and I won a framed picture of Stone Cold, and I showed it to my aunt, and it has the flaming skull and Stone Cold on it, and I showed it to my aunt, and she thought it was really scary for some reason. She got scared. My aunt got scared of Stone Cold. I'm like, here, I won this, and that's really scary, Matthew. Why are you showing me that? If I could find it, I gotta give it to you as a gift. If I could find it wherever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then Stone Cold, his matches with The Rock, his feud with The Rock. I mean, the last match they had, all the way to the first match they had, you know, back when it started. They came up right together, which brings me to like the number one right there. You can smell what The Rock's cooking.
Wow.
To me, he's got to be on the Mount Rushmore. Who else transcends wrestling more than The Rock?
I think
to the celebrity world.
Is he the most? I think as of right now, he is still the most famous wrestler who has ever lived at the moment. Like he's the only wrestler I think so many people in the most remote parts of the world can name.
I kind of disagree on that, but
well, you could say Hogan to like maybe
not even say Hogan. I'm saying Austin and Ric Flair because a lot of people, if you notice worldwide, everybody does their gimmick, clinking the beers. Ric Flair, with woo, everybody does that.
It's always gonna be those four: Hogan, Rock, Flair, and of course, no hold.
Mm-hmm. But go ahead, Josh. Two honorable mentions.
Two honorable mentions. Well, I'm gonna go with Eddie Guerrero.
Hell yeah! Viva la raza!
Viva la raza, man.
Rest in peace, Eddie.
Rest in peace, Eddie, man. I mean, when he came out there, he could steal the fucking show every night. Whether like Vince McMahon said, whether you loved him or you hated him, you respected the man. Whether he was cheered or booed, he went out there and gave it his all.
I love it.
And Eddie Guerrero, man, with that 5-star frog splash, the Latino heat, ever since he joined the WWE with the Radicals and making it all the way to WrestleMania with Chris Benoit.
One of the few wrestlers to wrestle in North Korea.
He did.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. He
Collision
did wrestle
in Korea.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a video about that. Is it?
They have the whole pay-per-view on YouTube now.
Okay, I need to see that. That's something that's a must-see.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, Eddie Guerrero. All right. So, you got one more honorable mention, Mr. Killer. There you go.
You can't see me. John Cena.
You can't see me. You can't see me.
He's already a 16-time world champion. He's won every title.
Shouldn't be.
Almost, except for the Intercontinental title. He's got to do that eventually. And I'd like to see him win the Universal title. But, I mean, I believe he's going to break Ric Flair's record. Unless he decides not to do it.
I don't like it.
Well, out of all the wrestlers that have been said so far, he's probably the one I want to be most friends with in real life. Because like personality-wise, like personality-wise, Sting's a bit of like conservative for me, and kind of like more like like the family man. If there's anybody I want to hang out with and eat Chinese food with, it's probably gonna be John Cena. That's gonna be my guy. Personality-wise, he's probably like somebody I want to hang out with. Like out of everybody mentioned, he's probably the wrestler I most want to be friends with.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but you better obey his house rules if you go into his house.
What are his house rules? What are his house rules?
Like a million of them.
Oh man, he'll make you sign a contract. He made Nikki Bella sign a contract.
Yeah. She was living with him, man. He made her sign a contract, so she fucks up anything. I don't know what the fuck.
There's do's and don'ts. There's do's and don'ts you can't do at the house.
I had no idea he had that going on.
He did have it.
She had to sign a fucking contract to live with him.
That shit was funny. You can watch it on Total Bellas on the WWE network. It tells you there. Well, interesting. I love your picks. I love it, Mr. Killer. That's great. I love your honorable mentions. Very great. Better than Matt's, unfortunately, that he chose other people to be in honorable mention instead of his top 5. But Matt, ladies and gentlemen, let me just go ahead and say it. I'm going to say it right now. Matt, for us in the Circle Debate family, he is the Max Kellerman of Circle Debate. I'm just telling you that right now, okay? Straightforward. But I love it, though. Now, moving on, let's go with Mr. Hero. I want to hear his. His got me curious. He was trying to make me spoil one, but no.
I'm ready to see too.
I'm curious to hear Mr. Hero. Mr. Hero. Oh wait, wait, there you go, Mr. Hero. You're on and on, partner. Go ahead, brother.
Oh crap! Oh, there I am. Okay, so Mount Rushmore, man. There's only 4 people in Mount Rushmore. We're doing a top 5. My number 5 is this man right here, the real American hero, Kurt Angle. He won an Olympic medal with a broken freaking neck. That's right. There's.
Did you watch the video? They have it on. Somebody was suggesting his opponent.
Which video?
The OG, the video where the actual match with the broken friggin' neck.
Oh yes, I've seen it. I've seen it a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. They actually want him to wrestle that guy. They want They want to bring back his old opponent from the Olympics.
Like for a storyline?
Yeah, they're thinking of it. They're like, well, before he retired, they wanted that.
Well, yeah, I would have thought so. Because he's retired now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this guy in his rookie year won King of the Ring, Intercontinental, European, and the WWF championships. He is one of the you put one of his matches and against like Chris Benoit or AJ Styles or anybody, man, this guy always delivered. He was always, and to me, my favorite storyline of his was during the Invasion, where he was kind of put in that role of the leader of the WWE locker room, and then they messed it up because he turned heel. But yeah, I mean, Kurt Angle at number 5. Number 4 is this gentleman right here. I don't know if you can see him, Hulk Hogan. So I know that there's been a few things said, or some news has come out of things that he said and kind of has tarnished his legacy. But you know what? This guy, if you really put the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, he has to be on it. In the 1980s, there was nobody more recognizable than him, I really think that he belongs in the Mount Rushmore. So Hogan at 4. Number 3 is You Can't See Me, John Cena.
Think alike.
Yeah, the doctor of thugonomics.
Yeah,
word life.
He belongs.
That was my favorite version of John Cena.
I love that one too.
Yeah,
that fucking music too. And I can't even think how it goes.
When I'm fighting, I'm spitting.
That theme song was in my first disc that I ever burned. Thank you, LimeWire. But yeah, John Cena, man, 16-time world champion. This guy has done it all, and well, except for winning the Intercontinental Championship. So we'll see how that happens. But yeah, first ballot Hall of Famer. He's made a rap album. He is going to be in the next Fast and Furious movie. So he's gone out and branched worldwide fame. And so, yeah. So number 3, John Cena. Number 2, The Rock. Okay. Man, you have to have The Rock on Mount Rushmore. He is one of the, if not, I don't quote me or don't, I'm not sure, but he's definitely one of the highest paid actors in the world today. And that just doesn't happen overnight. This guy has worked. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
Or he was at one point the highest paid actor. I don't know if he still is, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, because this guy has worked his butt off. I remember watching The Mummy Returns and thinking, that CGI Scorpion wasn't so good looking, but then he kept at it. He kept with Scorpion King and the Tooth Fairy and all that stuff.
Be Cool. That's when his first gimmick, when he was a gay guy, and the Be Cool.
That's right. Movie. Be Cool.
Yeah.
Walking
I remember
Tall.
that. I got that movie. And don't want was that song you were singing on there? You ain't woman in the
Oh yeah.
take my man.
So and that's, you know, outside of the ring. Inside of the ring, this guy was one of the most entertaining people in a wrestling ring. If you have a class, I'm sure in NXT in the Performance Center during promo class, they have to be playing some of his promos, so people are taking notes to you know, improve their stuff.
I agree with you.
He's up there.
I'm with you 100%. I'm with you on that because The Rock also, not only that, his net worth is a lot, and also he's a co-owner, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, of the Tremana tequila. I haven't tried it.
I have not tried it either.
I haven't tried it either. I need to try it. I keep seeing his Instagram making the Tremana drinks, Tremana margarita. Yeah. I need to try it one day. Give it a shot. I want to see how good his tequila is.
That's right. So, and my number one is the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is the number one. He belongs up.
Uh-oh. We'll give him time.
Stone Cold.
It's that Stone Cold frozen.
Yeah.
He's got freezing powers. That's how cold he is.
Stone Cold, though. That's why great minds think alike again, man.
Yeah.
He just stunned. He's so great. He stunned Mike Speed. That's how.
Stone
Put some stank on it.
Stone Cold's the one that helped him get through the attitude era. There you go. Monday Night War, though.
There you go. Go ahead, Mike.
Stone Cold is the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
he is the Attitude Era.
Yes, he is.
You
absolutely. I froze for a bit because technical difficulties, but man, Stone Cold at number one. There's zero doubt in my mind that he belongs as number one, and I hope to maybe someday having a beer with old Stone Cold. So
yeah, me too.
There you go.
Has anyone here tried the Stone Cold IPA yet?
Of course, baby. I mean, you're talking to. Come on, you're talking to.
I'm still waiting to try it.
I know.
I haven't tried it yet either. I want to.
I gotta send Josh one, and I gotta send you one. Mike and I already been tried it. But okay, so now you have two honorable mentions, Mr. Hero.
Honorable mentions, definitely Ric Flair.
Okay.
Woo! Yeah.
Ric Flair belongs. I mean, his popularity transcends the world of wrestling. You know, from all these videos of the woos and the rap videos and all that good stuff, and you know, that's another guy that I actually wouldn't mind having a beer or a drink with.
I think people don't even know what the name of that song is. The song, his theme song. People.
Ric Flair Drip.
Yeah, the Zarathustra. Like that song's called Zarathustra, like movement number 10. Yes. But people know it more as the Ric Flair song.
Of course, baby, you can't go wrong with Ric Flair.
All the comments are nothing but Ric Flair.
The Space Odyssey.
Yeah, 2001. And all the comments of that video are just like 70% Ric Flair comments. Just like that music's only for one person.
And my second honorable mention is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Man, what a career! You know, definitely from you know, injuring his back and people not knowing if he was going to return, to his awesome comeback in 2002. I remember SummerSlam 2002. Man, that was, which is one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. His comeback, I was so excited about it, and the career he went on to have on the second turn. You know, the WrestleMania 25 match with The Undertaker is just to name a few things there. A Hall of Fame career. Yeah, what else can you say about the Heartbreak?
His credentials are there. There's nothing you can't really say nothing bad about it. You can never say where he had a bad match. You can't. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, if our viewers, if you think you have, you know, that response, if you can rebuttal with that, comment below and let us know where was a Shawn Michaels bad match. I'd never seen a bad match that he ever had.
Yeah.
Never.
That's why it's called Mr. WrestleMania.
Exactly. The showstopper that steals the show. That's why he's up there. All right, great great minds think alike, ladies and gentlemen. Besides Mr. Max Killerman over here, Mr.
I looked him up just to see who it was because I didn't really get the reference.
Oh, you'll get the reference if you YouTube First Take. You'll know why. You'll know why, and our viewers probably know why. All right, now let me start it off. You know what? You're right. Number 5 for me. Number 5 for me, ladies and gentlemen, would be Hulk Hogan. Obviously, it's true. I mean, Hulk Hogan was a release top seller in the 80s. He main event at WrestleMania for 9 years straight. He did a great, phenomenal job during the era of the 80s. Yes, he did have bad recognition. We all know about it. If his legacy being kind of a little bit tarnished because of his past, addictions and prior comments that he's done. So I mean, I don't see that on him. I see him like he was my hero as a child when I saw him on television. So I was really like, oh my God. So he's like, there's no topping that, unfortunately. There isn't. So that's number 5. Number 4, yes, of course, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. You have to put him in there, no matter what. The Nate cannot be an honorable. He is one of the Mount Rushmores because he took the Buddy Rogers gimmick and made it to his own, and exceeded to where the levels at, where we got the Triple H's, where we got the Randy Ortons, where we got the Batistas, where we got, a lot of them as well. Even Bobby Roode, I can mention a lot of people that idolize him because they follow his mic skills, and he has it. He has it up there. And that's why Ric Flair belongs there, because him and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat stole the show. I mean, yeah. Dusty Rhodes. We can name all tops everywhere. Ric Flair is a man that makes superstars as well. That's why he should be in the Mount Rushmore. So that's my number 4. My number 3, this one is going to be interesting because the fact is that, it's the present, but I feel his career, when he started and where he developed, he deserves to be there because I love him as a fan. And that is, of course, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. AJ Styles is my number 3. He belongs there because his career where he exceeded in WCW, left, decided not to go with WWE, went to the to the industry. I mean to the indie scenes, made TNA like to be known, and if it wasn't for TNA and wasn't for AJ Styles, there would have been no cruiserweight division in WWE, reborn again, because they buried that belt. But when they saw TNA, before they become Impact, the X Division growing and excelling with AJ, Samoa, Christopher Daniels, Eli Skipper, Frankie Kazarian. We could name them all. Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley. Wow, I could go over the list. But them superstars, them build up that X Division, and it caught eye to Papa Vinny and Bruce at the time. Like, oh, this is good shit. We got to bring back the Cruiserweight division. Got to bring it back. And that's what he did. So that's why, and AJ, when he rebuilt his career in Japan, going to New Japan and joining the club, and that was great. His great match was Shinsuke Nakamura. That was like one of my favorite ones. Him and Okada as well. There's so much I can name, and I'm glad that AJ came to WWE, and that's why I choose him as my number 3, because he proved it already. Ring of Honor, I can name all the organizations where he's been through, but he proved it all, and he can still go and still do it. So that's why he's my Mount Rushmore. My number 2. Now my number 2, it's gonna be the best there is, the best there was, and the best ever will be. Let's Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bret Hart.
Pink and Black Attack.
Pink and Black Attack, because he never heard anybody ring. There's never been no bitching complaint that he heard.
Of execution.
And his, because of his father and his brothers and everybody else, his father's mainly, especially, developed, his in-ring skills ability, and he was like by far the best technical wrestler at that era, at that time. And believe me, everybody would have loved to see Bret Hart and Kurt Angle, both of them at their primes. That would have been the best match of all time. I think that would have been the match of the century. That would have been, but that's more later on to come.
You could watch Bret Hart versus Tiger Mask.
That was a great match, by the way.
Yeah,
that was a great match. Even when Bret Hart versus Pegasus Kid, Bret Hart had a lot of great matches. He made people the same, like how Ric Flair. Bret Hart did the same. I liked his matches with Mr. Perfect. Loved his message. Loves his matches with
his brother Chris Benoit.
His brother Chris Benoit. We can name them all, the list down. Even his match against Diesel, he made Kevin Nash, try to push him as a champ at the time. So Bret Hart was loyal to the organization, and he's a very skillful mindset professional wrestler and knows where to call the shots. So Bret Hart is my number 2. My number 1. Of course, I'm going to have to go with the great American, Mr. Hero, Mike Lopez, Steve Austin. Steve Austin.
All three of us had that one.
Yep, exactly. Steve Austin was...
That's GC right there.
Steve Austin obviously did beat the ratings after 83 weeks that WCW took. He reincarnated his character, became the most popular. He oversold Hulk Hogan, he oversold Ric Flair, he oversold Bret Hart. He even oversold John Cena, because John Cena is not even close to Austin's merchandise levels of selling. Not even CM Punk is close to that. Austin was the number 1 of all time, and every time when you hear that shatter glass, the crowd goes nuts. You never hear the crowd going like, "Hey!" You hear everybody, "Oh my God!" Like everybody go crazy. And Austin, he was the first person to beat the shit out of Vince McMahon. And on public television. The first person to stun him. He was the one that brought the Attitude Era into that, kind of reborn it. He was one of them. I'm not gonna say The Undertaker wasn't Triple H, DX. He was one of them, but I believe that Austin was the major player of the Attitude Era and made it for them to overrule WCW by a mob. And to this day, Austin's name is always going to be mentioned. And by the way, which they're thinking about doing a 30-year anniversary for Stone Cold on Monday Night Raw. So I'm
they better give it to him. He deserves it. They did it for somebody else, didn't they?
Yeah,
Shawn
Michaels. So they're going to do it for Austin. So I'm looking forward to see that. It is unfortunate that Austin retired. He retired unexpectedly due to his neck problems, because they never went away. But I was glad that The Rock retired him. And that's something that I'm okay with, because I'd rather have The Rock retire him than anybody else, like Brock Lesnar or anybody. I'd rather have The Rock. And I'm glad that even though we didn't accept the loss, that he lost to The Rock at WrestleMania 19, but it was the best way for him to go out. That's just my opinion about it. Now, my 2 honorable mentions. I will have to mention, of course, John Cena on this. He has to be an honorable mention, because the fact is he's the Guinness World of Records that holds the most Make-Wish Foundation. He does it, and as much as I disliked him as a professional wrestler, his in-ring skills, ability, I love his persona. He's a great guy. He's a very humble person, and I like what he's another person after Austin, after Rock, that pushed other talent as well to go over. And I love the fact that Cena did that for the organization. I like how he pushed Daniel Bryan, because, Cena called out Daniel Bryan to win it. And I was happy that Cena wanted to drop it to Daniel Bryan. The same what Cena does for CM Punk. And if you hear everybody's comments, I never heard a word from anybody that dislikes John Cena. Everybody loves John Cena because he was humble in the ring and humble outside, and he can work his ass off. So I can.
And he follows us on Twitter.
Yes.
Yup. We love you, John.
We love you, John. We love you. We love you. And now for my last one, which is, I know it might kind of catch you guys off guard, maybe. Whew, this is going to be the toughest one of all time, because I have a lot of them, but I'm going to have to choose one. and that's going to be Mick Foley.
Mick Foley. Good pick. Good pick.
Why Mick Foley? Because he put his body on the line for us during the Attitude Era. He put his body on the line to also do the same thing for other performers to excel on to their, levels, to grow in the industry, to grow in the promotion in WWE. And what can you say? I mean, shit, Mick Foley did it all, man. And I know that he's a hardcore legend, but I think his character as well is a legend to me. And for a big guy, he could wrestle, and he sold it for the crowd. He did it for the crowd. So Mick Foley is another honorable pick. So, I mean, what do you guys think, ladies and gentlemen?
It's a lot of great wrestlers. Yep.
There's a lot more we can mention. We can mention Savage. We can mention
Vader.
We can mention shit. There's so many.
Like Stone Cold versus Savage. Like that match actually happened, but he wasn't Stone Cold gimmick. It was Steve. It was Stunning Steve versus Savage in early WCW. But I'm like, I was thinking that whole thing, the WrestleMania 18 thing, could have been solved. Like the perfect B match to that would have been like, because Hulk Hogan versus Rock would have been Stone Cold versus Savage, and then the following year they could have flipped it around, Rock versus Randy Savage, and then Stone Cold versus Hogan.
Yeah, but see, it would never happen because of the whole scandal. We don't even know.
We don't know if it's true. It's not really confirmed. So
we don't know. We don't know if he did sleep with Steph or not. I don't know. I don't want to get into that because that's not.
It's all conjecture.
Rumor in your window.
And rest in peace, Randy Savage. Much love to
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Poffo. Oh yeah. And much love to the Poffo family.
Oh, definitely. So I mean, what do you guys thought about these picks? Everything great, right? Everything, that's a great Mount Rushmore, I believe so, right?
Yeah.
Everybody agrees? Okay, perfect. Perfect. I don't know how you. I love it. Everybody has great minds think alike, except for Mr. Max Killen over there.
What's the matter with you, man?
I wanted to go. I didn't want to go for the usual suspects, because it's always, no matter what you do, when you go, you're always going to get those same four guys on the list. So I wanted to go. I didn't want to pick any of those same four guys.
So that's the reason why I stepped out Rushmore, though.
Which same four guys?
Yeah.
Hogan, Flair, Rock, Stone Cold.
There you go. That's his Mount Rushmore right there.
They're the ones everybody always mentions. I didn't want to pick them
because they're the Mount Rushmore.
I didn't want to pick them because they're the most well known. They're the most well known. I'll say because
they're the ones that have made the business as successful as it is. Better technical wrestlers, definitely.
I have my own personal favorites. I have my own personal favorites, but if you want to go for like most well known, because like what you said about like Hogan was like the first wrestler I knew, period, ever. Like it's like Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson's not everybody's favorite singer, or the Beatles aren't everybody's favorite band, but they are the most well known. The Beatles are the most well-known band, and Michael Jackson's one of the most well-known singers. Hulk Hogan is like, was like that when I was little. He's the first wrestler I found. Michael Jackson was the first singer I found out about it, and the first wrestler I found out about was Hulk Hogan. And, I watched, and maybe they'd be together on TV. They'd be together on Jay Leno. It would be like Jay Leno, Michael Jackson, and Hulk Hogan in 1991. That's my childhood right there. Eating a Pop-Tart. And I'd have a Pop-Tart in my hand, I'd have a Pop-Tart and I have my juice in my little plastic sippy cup.
I would have those WWE ice cream bars.
Yeah, ice cream bars.
Yeah.
The Hogan bars. We're talking about toys too. Like my cousin, he had the whole like Hulk Hogan. He had the toy ring, and then he had the Hulk Hogan figures. So that was cool. That was the first thing I ever watched. So.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our top week 13, the top 5 of the week, our greatest Mount Rushmore's the top of all time. Stay tuned. Don't forget this next week's episode 14, which obviously we'll go ahead and talk about what's going on in the pro wrestling world news all over the world. And also stay tuned for the following Sunday as we're going to go ahead and do another top 5 of the week, which is our top 5 greatest matches of all time. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to hear everybody's greatest matches. Doesn't matter, it could be the past or present, the same. Doesn't matter, as long as you choose your fondable greatest matches that you loved, that you enjoyed, that you don't get tired of watching. You can watch it as much as you want, and you never get tired of it. So I'm looking forward to hear you guys other top 5 next week on week 14. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, Devious One IBC, alongside with the killer of all killers, the Reputation Killer, Josh Bret Horton. So remind you, follow him on Twitter, and then
at Josh Bret Horton.
At Josh Bret Horton. And also don't forget to follow our social media platform below, on the subscription below, our Twitter and our Instagram as well. And also we have the American hero of all heroes. He is the great American, Mike Lopez, hero.
Right.
That's right. And also we have the studios of all studios. He now brought out the Karen stick.
Oh God.
Stick. Which
is, you better watch out, Karen.
Better watch out, Karens. Watch out, Karens. So, Mr. MGC, Magic Cartagena. So, us saying to you guys, good night. Good night, and
bang. Good night, bang.
Bang.
Good night, bang. So, see you next week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Salud.